Good evening, class. This is Bishoy Shafi, and today we have the project about the most killers in the history and most famous killers in the history. Today I have my co-workers helping me in the project. First, we're gonna James, and after that, Freddie. We had Kyle and Jim, John, Van, Sonia, and we got Katie. Today I will talk about one of the most famous person in the history that he killed a lots of human. He didn't kill them by a normal way. He didn't kill them by a gun, by anything. He killed his own people. He killed them by his power. His name is Pol Pot. First, let's talk about who is Pol Pot, where he's from, how old, what's his history, what the date of his born, and how he raised up until he killed his own people. First, Pol Pot was born in 1925 in a small village. It's called Prik Subava, located about 100 miles north of the Cambodian capital, Phnom Penh. His family his family was relatively affluent and owned some 50 acres of rice paddy, and rough of 10 times the national average. In 1934, Pol Pot moved to the capital city of Cambodia, where he spent a year at the Buddhist monastery before attending the French Catholic primary school. As we can see, he went to a Catholic school after he left his family and moved to the capital city of Cambodia. And at this point, he started learning and how he grew up. In 1949, when he went to Paris on a scholarship, so when he grew up between 1934 until 1949, he was in Catholic school. It was a French school until he got a full scholarship and he went to Paris. While there, he studied radio technology and became active in communication circle. So when he moved to Paris, he was in communication, so he learned how to do radio stuff. And January 1953, the whole region was revolting against French colonial rule. Cambodia officially gained its independence from France later that year. So in 1953, it's not only they moved the colonial, the Cambodian country got there free from under the French government. From 1956 to 1963, Pol Pot taught history, geography, and French literature to a private school, while including revolution and 1970. Okay, in 1960, Pol Pot helped to recognize the KPRP into a party that specifically opposed Marxism-Leninism. 3 years later, following the clampdown on communication activity, he and the other party leaders moved deep into the countryside of northern Cambodia. So between 1956 and 1963, he moved from France and he went back to Cambodia. He started to be a teacher and teaching in a private schools. And around this area, he was with a group of people that they were going North Cambodia. And in 1968, Pol Pot, who had begun to emerge as a Cambodian party chief, and the newly formed Khmer Rouge Colonel Army, and in this year, 1968, he joined the army, or he started an army. And around 1970 until 1978, he became the prime minister. And at this time, he didn't care about any of his people, and he started raise their taxes, didn't give them any food, and all the skilled workers were also killed. A lot of people been killed around the period he was the prime minister, and around like between 1.5 until 2 million people died because of him. It's between the 1970 until 1978. And in 1978, Vietnamese troop invaded Cambodia, capturing Phnom Penh in early 1979. A moderate Cambodian government has established, and Pol Pot and Khmer Rouge retreated back into the jungle. And after this, they got captured, and when they were in the, and Pol Pot, when he got arrested, he didn't live them long, and I believe he died in the jail after they got arrested him. And that's all I'm gonna say about tonight. And thank you, class, and have a good night.